the reality they want, Thanos is just blasphemy of the Messiah, fulfilling the mission, getting rid of all the Masons and all their wickedness. But in the end, they want him alone. They want him to fail. Nobody know who you were, and none of that. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about paying attention and knowing the signs and everything. They don't want him being revealed. Just be alone. You don't be your own gods and keep living your life and then go to hell. He failed. He couldn't save you. He can't save everybody. 2012, you see how the man standing on top of the altar, the mountain blasphemy in front of the three mountains like the altars, and they want him, he's the Lord of the floods. He's going to bring the judgment, the fire judgment, and they want him alone. He failed the mission. He couldn't save everybody. We got a free willie. We got to have the determination of free willie. Exodus 34:19, those who come out the matrix are mine own. So we got to have that determination to get out of here, overcome Satan's stumbling blocks. The man out to sea, the Willie, the William, rising up. That's why Michael Jackson said, I'm only human on this song. Because what he was trying to say is, you got Jesse and Willie, because Jesse, remember the Messiah is the stump of Jesse. Jesse is the father of David. Through the seed of Jesse comes the Messiah, through the house of David. It's serious symbology. The Messiah is, as Jonas was in the well belly, so shall the Messiah be in the earth 3 days, 3 nights. So, that's why you got the free Willie. And then you see that dove over here, and then you see the sunrise, the son of God, the son of righteousness. Willie overcoming the matrix, overcoming that net they was trying to trap him in, those stumbling blocks. That's why Karen is a monitor and she's married to Plankton and she's a computer. Because she's married to Plankton, because they go right to the ensign, In Malachi 4:2, those who believe in, who fear my name, he rides up with healing in his wings, ye shall be saved. Ye shall be delivered. So you see the two key of David's, the first and second coming. And then they use that beetle, that roach, that beetle, because, as it's written, I will hiss for them. And many shall gather. So, in the book of Zechariah 10, I think 10:8. So, when you understand that beetle goes into that, that's why Plankton had to be a roach or beetle, That's why you see Drake on that sicko mode. Sun is down, freezing cold. They want to keep people in that darkness, hiding that son of God, keep him hidden, and they can keep warring against heaven. Let them cloud with witnesses be full of blood. Keep on, the kingdom of heaven is within you. So that's why they war against your temple, war against you, fill you up with blasphemy, keep you deceived, and that's how they keep them clouds bloody, keep them red clouds. I want to paint the sky. What did Doja Cat say? I want to paint the town red. Remember she said that they want to paint that town red. That's why he was blaspheming the cars, throwing up the 666. Talking about slept on the flight 767, man. Remember that? And he was like, she's in love with who I am, while he was inside the car. They want to keep warring against the Son of God and keep on pushing that false light, the false light of the world, Obama, Lucifer. The son that, it's written, Satan is the God of this world, 2 Corinthians 4:4. That's why Obama the 44th president. Lucifer is the false light that blinds the minds of the people. That's why Drake and Travis Scott on the railroad, they don't want the Exodus to happen. Block that sun. It's crazy. That's why Eddie Murphy blocked the sun. Eddie Murphy is the chosen one, not the Messiah, is what he's saying. And then on top of that, you got Michael, the one like God, blocking the sun and dance with the devil instead. You see it say dance with the devil, block that sunlight. Don't become a vampire. Remember Lewis was the vampire on Interview with the Vampire, Brad Pitt, and he's William, his middle name William, and the character name was Lewis. And it just goes to people being grafted into that bloodline. As the days of Noah were, so shall this coming of the Son of Man be. That's why they want to block that sun of righteousness, paint that town red. You see all that red. But I'm